go for a story time. I want to tell you about the time that I kicked my gynecologist directly in the face. This story is full of lots of twists and turns, and I hope you enjoy it because it's very, well, it would just happen to me. I'll just say that. It would happen to me. So I need to preface this story by telling you that I am a fertile turtle, okay? My husband can sneeze 3 doors down and get me pregnant. This is not to diminish anyone's story. I know that a lot of people suffer with infertility. This was just not my lot in life. Our first son was unexpected, and once he was born, I told my gynecologist I would need something semi-permanent to make sure that I don't get pregnant in the near future because I'm not ready for that. So I told him that I wanted to try Mirena, the IUD that goes inside of you. It's a little teeth thing that goes in your uterus to keep you from getting pregnant. He thought that this was a good option too, so I set up my appointment, my 6-week postpartum appointment, and we gonna do it. Before I tell you this next part, you also need to know that I am a weenie, a big fat weenie when it comes to pain. I don't do well, and my body tends to just go night-night if something is too painful for me. I pass out getting my ears pierced, my blood drawn, a flu shot, a TB test, hitting my elbow on a door frame, and just plain, and whenever I want to, I pass out. If it hurts, I'm going to sleep. Well, if you've ever had an IUD placed, 'tis not pleasant. 'Tis not. I was not prepared for that at all. So my gynecologist, he says, here comes the pinch. And that was the last thing that I remember. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up with ammonia capsules shoved up each nostril, my legs in the air, and my husband looking unfazed. By this point in our marriage, he's kind of gotten used to my antics, especially in the pass out situation. He calls me a fainting goat. I look at my gynecologist and I said, did you do it? Because like if I pass out, that gives you permission, like just keep going because I'm out. It's a great time to do it. Just keep going. But he was like, no, I did not do it. Birth control pills for you. He was holding his face because when I passed out, I reflexively shot my legs out and kicked him right in the face. But the story does not end there. No, it does not. My doctor sent me home on the mini pill because I was breastfeeding. The mini pill is effective, but not as effective as other birth control pills because it leaves out a hormone that could pass to your baby while you're breastfeeding. I should also tell you, I ain't too good at taking pills. Not too good at that. I knew that I did not need to get pregnant right then. I had just started my career as a nurse and I just needed to not be pregnant for a little while. So I took these birth control pills religiously. And one reason that I was able to take them so well is because I taped my birth control pack to my phone, to the back of my phone. And I set an alarm on my phone for 8 p.m. so wherever I was, I could take my pill. That was until 3 years later when I went on an out-of-town trip and forgot my pills. It was a short trip, so I was able to get back and take it 8 hours after I was supposed to. But if you know anything about birth control, if it ain't in those 2-hour time frame, you screwed. And I got pregnant. We were in an okay place. It was an okay time to have a baby, but still it's a little stressful. So my son's little brother comes around, Luke. He's a sweetie, but I told my doctor, not ready to have another baby again. So I don't want to do the birth control pills again because this happened and I would like to try the IUD again. But I told him, if you just give me something to relax me, I'll be straight. He hooked his sister up. He hooked me up good. I got 5 different medications for pain, anxiety, and a soft cervix. All things that you would assume would help me be able to get this IUD in a not very terrible, traumatic fashion. He told me, he said, okay, take these pills about an hour before your appointment and you should be Gucci. Okay, well he didn't say Gucci, but you know what I mean. So we're on our way. I take these pills an hour before and we get to the appointment and I am not feeling a dang thing of these medicines. Your girl is stone cold sober, and I did not want to be. I go back for my appointment, and he's gonna do it under ultrasound because I got a very secretive cervix. She doesn't like to be found. She's very modest. Again, I'm telling you, I am sober, totally sober. And although I did not pass out, I could see my soul floating above me in pain. It took 13 minutes to get this IUD in because I told you my girl's modest. She doesn't like to come out, she doesn't like to be found, and she made it very difficult. So it was a very traumatic experience. I leave there and I get in the car and a wave of sleepiness and drunkenness passes over my body. And that is the last thing I remember for several hours. But let me tell you what happened after that. I'm going to include in this video how large and in charge I was at this time. You see, I had a little something called gestational hypertension, meaning high blood pressure during pregnancy. It caused your girl to swell beyond an appropriate size. I went from about 150 to 215 in a matter of months. And most of that was in my legs and ankles. As you can see, my poor, sweet husband had to carry my large booty from the car into the house because your girl was unconscious. He very, I'm sure gently, threw me into the bed and allowed me to rest off my drunken stupor. He came in to check me every once in a while, and at one point he came in to check me and the bed was entirely saturated. Did I pee myself? No. I had produced enough milk to feed 12 babies and just let it spew all over the bed. So my husband realized, oh no, I need to pump her boobs. So my man had to prop up my dead corpse and figure out how to use a breast pump in a very short amount of time without my help, physically, emotionally, spiritually, or any other way. I was probably the opposite of help. So we let her rip like I was a dairy cow in line getting milked. He probably should have been paying a little bit closer attention because I definitely overflowed it. Then he had another mess to clean up. In the next couple of days, I was recovering from my coma and I took my grandma out for dinner. My sweet, nearly 90-year-old grandma who was so with it. She had like no dementia, she was doing well, she knows what she's talking about. So being that we're both girls, I tell her my plight, my very traumatic situation that had just happened to me. Keep in mind, my grandma had 9 babies. So when I told her I got an IUD, she said to me, oh yeah, I just had mine taken out last month. No, Grandma, no. We're talking about 2 totally different things. She said no, like the little T thing that goes into your uterus that keeps you from getting pregnant. We are talking about the same thing. I said, Grandma, what do you mean you just had yours taken out last month? It was an incidental finding at one of her appointments. Her doctor's like, hey, what is this? And pulled it out. I know he had to have taken some pictures of that because that thing was in there for 45 years. You know that thing had to have barnacles on it.